Right, welcome to this glorious summer day. Oh, it's hot, man. I'm sweating. So how did I end up with this Zero in the middle of a lockdown? Well, in February I went to France and met up with the factory, and I went on the launch of this bike, and we came up with a really cunning plan. They were going to ship a bike to me and I was going to paint it, and then we were going to show it at the Bike Shed Motorcycle Show 2020. A couple of months later, coronavirus breaks out, whole of Europe is on lockdown, Bike Shed gets cancelled, bike turns up. Couldn't believe it. So somehow this bike made its way here. So I called up the factory. They said, why don't you do some testing, try and see what it's like to live with an electric motorbike? And I said, yes, I'm going to do that, but only on one condition, and that is that I'm allowed to say exactly how I feel. And they were like, that's absolutely fine. If you slag it off too much, we might take it back though. Which is fair enough. So that's the deal. Of course, one of the great things about having electric vehicles is that you don't have to go to the petrol station to fill them up. You can do it at home. Except this is a Dutch press bike. This is a Dutch plug. That is a UK plug, and that's not going to work. So I'm going to need to charge this bike somewhere other than the home. So the first thing you do is you go onto a SAP app and put in your location. So you need to go for the purple ones. They're the ones that have their own charging cables, and it's great because there is a couple of chargers only 5 miles away. So let's go and charge up. Okay, if I can compare it with anything just here at the low speeds, it feels a lot more like a 600, and I suspect that's all down to the centre of gravity being so low. And the other thing is the riding position. Over the years, the super sports bikes, they've become a lot more track orientated, and I think it's a trend in the motoring industry. You know, even cars are becoming more, you know, tuned for the Nürburgring. This always slightly surprises me because it's not really what you want in everyday life. So I'm not super tall, I am 6 foot, and some of these super sports bikes I've really struggled to try and get my legs and knees and arms tucked in. Works phenomenal on a track, but realistically, I mean, in a really good year I'll probably do about 7 track days maximum. Normal year I'll probably do 4. So is it really worth sacrificing all of that comfort for 4 days every year? I'm not sure. This is like a sports tourer. You guys remember those? Really ultra fast, big ball bikes, but with really comfy seats and riding positions and fairings that really sort of sheltered you from the elements. This feels like a sports tourer, and that's a good thing. It's quite narrow. The reason why they chose a steel trellis frame rather than alloy frame that a lot of sports bike have these days is just because they wanted to try and keep the width as narrow as possible, and they've really succeeded. It's quite a narrow bike, not quite narrow enough for that gap there, but
electric.
Yeah, 100% electric.
Wow, what make is it like?
Zero.
Zero?
Yeah, so it's American manufacturer.
And what's the range?
120 miles realistically.
Really?
I do like to give it some, yeah.
It's fast, isn't it?
Very fast, yeah.
Really?
Yes, got 120 brake horsepower, but 140 meters of torque.
No.
So yeah, it's like, it's want to pull my arms off.
Wow, it's
Yeah.
amazing, isn't it?
So that happens at every stop. You have to explain what it is and why you have it. It doesn't feel like a big bike. Obviously you've got all of the power constantly. Up front is a Tesla. That's a four-wheeled equivalent of this. I don't want to make too much comparison between Tesla and two very different manufacturers, but in terms of how far these guys are compared to the competition, I'd say Zero is about as far ahead of the game as Tesla is. And I think one of the things that really sets Zero apart from other electric vehicles is that they've really concentrated on trying to get the power pack sorted before, and then build a bike around. Once they got a good power pack, they built a bike around the power pack rather than go the other way around, which it feels like a lot of whoa. Okay, that's fast. That's insane. Oh my god. Okay. Oh mate, that was uphill. That was insane. That was so much fun. Okay. Again, because there's no clutch, there's nothing. It just gives you that bit of. It was the same with the DCT and the Hondas, not having the clutch and that. It just gives you that extra bit of not just a free hand, but also a bit of headspace. You could just do other things as you come up to a roundabout. You just got that little bit of extra headspace where you can kind of do other stuff. It is windy today. This bike is so smooth, and yet it's got bags of character as well. When they say it's silent, that's not true. It's not silent. There's definitely a whine coming from the back. It's a nice noise actually. It's not a bad noise. Oh, we want to go. We want to go. Oh yeah, we're going. We're going. Oh, there's a big branch in the middle of the road. It is very windy today, like I said. So let's see if we can just sneak through. Where's he going? He's going in the middle. So we've got two vans here. Normally you'd struggle to get through here, but no such thing on this one. And then we'll go along with this person here. Well, that's a new driver, so we'll give him a bit of space. Okay, here we go. That is so much. Wow, this bike is going to steal three things from you: your time, because I don't want to go home, I just want to ride along, and then it's going to steal your heart, and then it's going to steal your license. I was only meant to go to Tesco's, and look at me now, going up and down this road like a madman. This bike is insane. This is insanely fast. Oh, it feels good to lean over as well. They say that this bike is silent, but it's not. This is the noise it makes. Maybe that whining sound is from the riders. It's not even from the bike. Oh my word. Oh my word. This is so addictive. I am in so much trouble. I'm in so much trouble. I'm telling you. This is fun.